This happened to me 2 or 3 years ago. I was around 23 at the time. I'm a female and I live in Romania. One night I was coming home from class, master's. Classes start after 6 and end at 10 p.m., around 11 p.m. I had to take the subway for about 12 stops. The destination I had to get off at was at the end of the line for the subway. At the time, there wouldn't be many people in the subway. I'm a pretty lonely person. All I need is a headset and my music, and I'm good to go. Said and done. I plug in my music. I pick the furthest chair in the subway, away from only 2 people that were taking the subway with me at the time. So far, so good. Until I see, with the corner of my eye, a silhouette approaching me and sitting right next to me. It was a man, fairly built, dark hair, wearing glasses, a black shirt, and a black hoodie with a sickening smile. He didn't engage in talking with me, but would just stare at my phone as I was browsing through my music. I can hear him breathing heavily. Not like painfully, but still, like he was feeling something very strong. I feel uneasy, so I decide to change my seat and go even further behind, trying to avoid him without looking like a freak myself. I don't know to whom. There was just another person with us the whole way. I guess that scared me even more. I picked a new chair, sit down, plug in my headset again, and proceed with the remaining 6 out of 12 stops on my way home. I see the silhouette growing bigger and bigger, and a breeze run by my skin as I realize the guy is again sitting next to me, glancing in midair, dead eyes, a big smile, staring right into my phone. I panic. There are still 4 stops to go. I have nowhere to go. I look myself to the other person in the subway trying to sit next to her, thinking strength comes in numbers. She's no longer there. I started shaking a bit, but not allowing the creeper to notice me being vulnerable. I stand up, go to the door, and just decide to stand until my stop comes. This way he won't sit next to me, right? Wrong. He comes straight after me, sits in the chair right near the door, and because he couldn't see my phone, which he was so focused on so far, from that angle, he fixates right in my soul with his black, dead eyes and says,
"Hey, gorgeous. Why are you avoiding me?"
I'm freaking out as I look at my phone trying to call my boyfriend or message him, and he stops me by saying,
"I know no one will help you. You would have sent an SOS message by now. I know you didn't."
That moment, I realized I am correct. He has been focusing on my phone to see who I was talking to, trying to figure out if I'd panic, trying to see if I would ask someone for help. He concerned me bad. I had the luck to reach my stop as I would delay any reaction or ignore him so that he would repeat whatever he wanted to say. I drop off and run for the exit, not looking back. I get out at the surface and I didn't see him anymore. At this moment, I put my phone in my purse and I realized I had pepper spray with me all along. My heart becomes back to normal as I know at least I have something to defend myself, but still a long way to get home. And who knows if he's alone or not. I walk rather fast for maybe 5 minutes from the metro and I feel a hand grab my wrist hard and pull me back. Another hand covering my mouth, disabling me from screaming my lungs out. It was him. The same black hoodie, dark hair, and dead-eye stalker. He was furious and said,
"Running from me? How dare you run away from me? You should be honored I gave you attention."
I am fairly built for a woman, 80 kilograms, 1.7 meters tall, so I guess he thought men didn't find me beautiful or something, and should feel blessed a creep like him stalks me and tries to hurt me. Now my phone is in my bag. I can't call the police, and I can't reach for pepper spray. I panic. I can't punch him in the crotch. I can't scratch him as I don't have long nails. His hand is still on my mouth. What do? I did the most desperate and disgusting thing I can think of just to save my life. I played along. I used my other hand to touch the inside of his thigh and mumbled, "I'm sorry," while his hand was on my mouth. He took his hand off my mouth and I repeated that I'm sorry. I didn't realize he was just flirting. He let his guard down and took his hand off my wrist. He asked me for my phone number and address so he could drop me off. But I refused, saying I'd rather add him on Facebook, and he agreed. I told him I'd reach for my phone, but instead I picked up the pepper spray and got spray all over his face. I made sure I covered both eyes, nose, mouth, even his ears and his hands. He instantly got all red, suffocating from the pepper and swelling. I called the police, told them what had happened and what I did. They asked me if he'd been immobilized, and I said yes, as the effects wear off in 45 minutes. Police arrived there 5 minutes later to see me shaking like a leaf and a man on the ground, swollen like a pumpkin, throwing up and swearing me between gasps of breath. He was arrested, and the police told me they had been looking for him for the past few weeks, as they discovered the body of a 24-year-old woman in his apartment. Fairly built lady, 7.77 meters tall, 75 kilograms, red hair. I have red hair too. The woman was his girlfriend, and ever since, he'd never gotten back to the apartment. I don't know what he wanted to do with me, but I can understand why he targeted me due to our similarities, but stranger in the subway stalking women at midnight, trying to befriend them, or even worse, murder them? I hope to God you and I never meet again.